let's look at an example here. You're asked to find the integral between, say, 3 and 4 of 6x dx. Okay. As we said before, you've got to say to yourself, what is the function that we differentiated to get 6x? And you know when you differentiate, you take 1 off the power and it comes down the front. And then it's multiplied by the coefficient. So that will be an x squared involved. Now if I just put x squared, when you differentiate that you get 2x. So that's not quite where we need to be. So if we put a 3 in the front there, when you differentiate this, 2 times 3 is 6, that gives me the 6, you take 1 off the power and you get x to the power of 1. So bingo, we've got it. So this is my antiderivative function, or my capital F of x, if you just looked at the previous video. So we've found the function and it is going to be between these two values. So we actually find the antiderivative function, put that in a square bracket, and then put the lower bound and the upper bound. Now it is a matter of substituting in the 4 value first. So it'll be 3 times 4 squared, and it's always minus. And we put in the lower bound. So we've got 3 times 3 squared. And 1648 minus 9 times 3, 27, and we get 21. So if you like, y equals 6x will look something like that, and we want between 3 and 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, so we want this area here. So here's so that's y equals 6x, and between the values 3 and 4 there. Okay, this is an example of the definite integral. So this is the definite integral. Which is a different question than if you're just asked, what is the integral of 6x dx? Now, if you're asked that, where you're not given a lower bound and upper bound, how many answers could there be? How many antiderivatives are there of 6x? Well, if I find the derivative with respect to x of 3x squared, I get 6x. If I find the derivative with respect to x of 3x squared plus 1, when I find the derivative of that, I get 6x, and when I find the derivative of 1, I get 0, so I still get 6x. If I find the derivative with respect to x of 3x squared minus 1056, I still get 6x. How many antiderivatives are there of 3x squared? There's an infinite number. All of these values, or all of these functions here, when I find the derivative, I get 6x. So how do we overcome that? Well, we'd say, righto, all of these are constants. So the integral of 6x will be the 3x squared will give me the 6x. But bearing in mind the derivative of a constant is going to be 0, I just write plus c. So if this is an example of the definite integral, this without the bounds here is what we call the indefinite integral. And with the indefinite integral, we always put a plus c at the end. So that's the difference between definite and indefinite. You've still got to find the antiderivative function, so you've still got to find what you differentiate to get 6x. In this case it's 3x squared. But because you're not given bounds, there could be a constant, any constant involved, so on down here. So we just put plus c, because when you find the derivative of the plus c you get a 0, so you still get 6x when you differentiate the indefinite integral. So be very clear, indefinite integral versus definite integral. The only difference is that you've got bounds here on the integration sign.